Hello and welcome to the Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising Venus signs on the path of true love for July 2019. I am your reader today, Angelo, Lyons. If you are new to the channel, please, subscribe, because this is my first time doing these readings. I've been a reader for, well, since I'm 12 years old. I'm 50. I know I don't look at all sorts of secrets in that one. But if you go to my website, jointhecircle.com, and read the About Us, which is really about me at this point. I'm the president of the company. We've been in business for over 21 years. We're still here. I'm still here. So for all of these that I'm doing, I'm only up to Sagittarius. I'm almost done. I wanted to have all of these done by July 1st. But I went to Gay Pride New York City this weekend, stayed in Brooklyn, filmed the Scorpio version of that. Actually got that one, tried to do Sagittarius, not just once, but twice, once in Brooklyn and one earlier today, and both times electronic interference, which we'll talk about because Sagittarius is mutable fire. So because I'm doing these for all of the first 12 and just explaining not just who I am, but the decks that I use and who I work with, because I work with very, very specific channels of divinity as a clairvoyant empath. Yes, Virgo, Sun, Pisces, Moon, clairvoyant empath in the chart. Leo's right. Leo rising conjunct Mars, otherwise I would never leave the house. So that being said, one of the first ones that I always do are the angels. My name is Angelo, Lyons. Like, even my name has archangel in it. So I work with the archangels, the archangelic gang of four, if you like. There are more than that. There are more than 4 archangels, but for readings, at least, we do fire, earth, air, water. So in the north, we have the Urielites, which cover the earth signs. In the east, we have the Raphaelites, which cover the air signs. In the south, we have the Michaelites, which cover the fire signs. And in the west, we have the Gabrielites, who represent the water signs. As I just came in the room, and the deck that I used to work with them is the Doreen Virtue Healing Angel Oracle. That was a mouthful. I just felt them come in. I mean, they're always around me. We're not really separate, but I guess awareness, tuning to a channel, they just said. The angels always communicate in broad strokes anyway. It's like there's like 1 or 2 words on a card. But that's why I use my tarot deck, Daughters of the Moon Tarot, to connect with my gods. I work with a pantheon of 12 gods. That does not mean that I don't work with more gods than 12. I work with a lot of different deities, but they're all in the Hellenic Greek pantheon. But in the center of the castle of my soul, there is a circular courtyard with 12 thrones, each marked with 1 sign of the zodiac in processional order from Aries to Pisces. And there is always a god or a goddess in one of those thrones. So there are always 12 gods in attendance, and some of them tag in and tag out. I use Libra as an example because in the throne of Libra, it can be Aphrodite or her son Eros. However, we're talking about Sagittarius, and there's only one god who sits in that throne, and that god is told, go get him. Zeus, king of the gods, king of the mountain. Daddy, my daddy. I know we think of him as the hallmark of the patriarchal culture, but he's evolved. Oh, he's so wonderful. He's a good dad now. Took him a couple of centuries, but hey, we all have our own unique individualized curriculum. So that deck I read, Daughters of the Moon by Fiona Morgan, to communicate with my God's brilliant deck. I talk about it a lot in some of the other videos. The third channel that I work with are the Ascended Masters, who I love and adore. But here's the thing. If you just Google the word Ascended Masters, you're going to get more tinfoil hat woo-woo land content than you're ready for. Really, I don't want to minimize it, but they would kind of rather I do minimize it. They are souls that incarnated in schoolroom earth, just like everybody, but they got their masters. They graduated. And, I guess we all have choices once we complete our own highly individualized curriculum. That phrase, highly individualized curriculum, is from the Course in Miracles. That's why you can't compare paths. They're incomparable. You can try. They just don't work. It doesn't work. So this is how I communicate with them. Cynicism. Can you tell I have a little cynicism about them? Because it is. It's like people believe in angels. Abba even wrote a song about it, right? The gods, come on. The gods are showing up in our movies, in our TV shows, in our, I mean, how many Olympians alone do we need? Not to mention, oh, the Norse. Oh, dear, the Norse. The way they're all being, the actors that they're getting, their archetypal structures must be, their charts must be fascinating, the ones that are playing gods and goddesses. But anyway, so this is how I communicate them with the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Had this one forever. It's a very thick deck. And when you hear the love deck, you go, oh, it must be all like hearts and flowers, which part of it is. You get, for instance, giving. But then you can have what I call a womp womp card, like loneliness. I'm giving a loneliness, serving loneliness. Kidding. You really can't read Sagittarius with all that Jupiterian Zeus energy and not have some fun with this. So let's have some fun with this. Cross fingers, cross eyes, cross legs. Well, don't cross your legs too hard. You're Sagittarians. It won't last. Here we go. With a nice dose of sense of humor, I ask my angels, can you please give us one card to start with? For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for July 2019. That one. Ooh, friendship. It's the perfect friendship. Da, 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 dig, dig, dig. Okay, good start. Because friendship is the stem of the rose, the blossom, the romance. Now, again, true love isn't about romance all the time. In fact, I think people often get discouraged when they reinterpret these readings as something other than romantic. They're like, oh my God, that's with my brother or my sister or my whatever. Like, womp womp. But, you know, it's those, my friends have saved my ass way more than any lover ever did. Girl, don't try it. You break it, then you buy it. My gods, oh my gods. Now, Hera, she sits in the throne of Cancer. Today is, we are already in Cancer moon today, but the new moon eclipse is at, what, I think 3:16 today. I'm live streaming. By the time you get this, this will probably be way past. I'm live streaming on the Drawing the Circle Facebook page because she told me to. Yeah, because the goddess Hera sits in the throne of Cancer. So talking about her husband Zeus, I mean, that's the divine level of it, right? Where the angels paint in broad strokes, the gods paint in stories, right? They tell stories, archetypal stepping stones, clues, hints. So as I tune to them now, I love them so much. I call my mother and my stepfather Hera and Zeus. I was literally raised by archetypal versions. So my gods, my goddesses, not just Hera, because we agreed on this beforehand. Well, like she's the queen, like she's not going to pull one, just one. No, let me say the whole thing. May we please have one card for Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for July 2019. Now, Aries, we will look at that. It is the first sign of the zodiac. May involve I mean, in decks like this, I see in so many readings online where they take all of the court cards, and if it's a fire sign, they say it's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Well, in this deck, it's lovely. I don't get the luxury of that. It says right on it, Aries. So the Maiden of Blades, this is a feminist deck. So please, we're not talking gender here. Don't read me for filth on that. I am pro-unity. I ain't against nobody. So whatever you do, whatever you are, in harm to none, blessed be. But that's very much what this card can also mean, aside from somebody actually being in Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever. This can very much be about you, Sagittarius, not because of the zodiacal reference, but because it is the child of the zodiac. That it might be that there's a new beginning for you internally. Check your chart and see if you have any planets in Aries, for example. I have Saturn in Aries retrograde, so for my Saturn return, that's why I started Drawing the Circle Productions 21 years ago, give or take a month. So that there's something about it, possibly something personal here. And if you're new to this, I start with one card from each deck, and then I go deeper. Believe me, I'm a Virgo. We'll look at this. We'll have some more info. So interesting that the gods gave us the name of one of their own, because there's no other sign of the zodiac that actually has the name of a god in it. Aries is the god of war, but it's spelled different. A-R-E-S. The sign is A-R-I-E-S, just so you know. Watch your words. Choices. My masters. They are the most human of the three, because they were humans. And I make them laugh, and they make me laugh. And they have all different sorts of groups and codings. I'm pretty sure my group of dead comedians that I call the Shecky Collective might very well be Ascended Masters. Ascended Master Buddy Hackett would be kind of cool. So my masters, I can feel you like you're breathing on the back of my neck. One card, please. Do I need to say it? I'll say it just for the video then. Please, one card. For Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for July 2019. Just one? No. I shuffle with my eyes closed, so in case I pick two, I don't see which one it was. Just, oh, bottom of the deck. Fuck. It's a womp womp. Take a breath. We're going to, I'll work for you on this one. I'll do my best. You got holding on. Do, my love. Do, because it's not that. No. Okay, so tuning into this, look, going into, every time I do this, I tune to the collective. I make the prayer. I tune myself to the sign and all of that stuff. And this feels really, really friendly. This feels really, really good. This doesn't feel like the womp womp card is the turd in the punch bowl, but it might be an indication of someone holding on to you is the thing. And you might be feeling selfish, childish. Now, what's interesting, now that I realize this, in my chart, because I am Leo rising, big shock, I have Aries in the 9th house, which belongs to Sagittarius. So I am somewhat familiar, which is why I had to start my own company, because the child in me doesn't do well being controlled. It's a rebel child. It's Aries. Well, actually, this ring are the 3 children that sit in that throne. I have 3 that swap out in the sign of Aries, though I have it in Sagittarius, the 9th house. I have Aries, Artemis, and Hephaestus, right? Those are the 3 children. I mean, there are other children. They're all children in a way, right? But that Aries, it really, really gets angry when people try and control it. And I had a brilliant astrologer, oh my God, right before my Saturn return, that she said to me, you know, working for others, you're never going to be happy. You're always going to feel like you're being held back, abused, or neglected. She goes, you can work with people, but you have to work for yourself. And because of its placement in my chart, I got it. I started drawing the circle productions, and here I am. Now, very, very selfish, had to fill my own cup, but in this case, stoke my own flame. Stoke your own flame, cardinal fire. There's a creative thing moving through you this month on the path of true love that is very friendly. Like the angels are just like, this is very friendly. Remember, they kind of do the broad stroke, larger picture, sort of like satellite view, right? Where the gods are saying, yes, there is selfishness here, but it very well may be higher selfishness or selfish compassion, self-care, right? And by the way, we're coming into a crap ton, we're in a crap ton of retrogrades right now. Mercury retrograde is coming up. This is my Mercury retrograde repellent. It's an amethyst in filtered pure water. And swallow, and I bless it. So moving forward in this, let's get some cards with all these retrogrades coming. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do a series on those, one for each sign, pretty much as soon as I'm done with these. So my angels, no, give me give us one card just to bridge that Aries, and the holding on. So angels, give us an overview, a picture, a bridge between the cards of the card of the gods and the card of the masters. Abundance. Okay. So abundance for me, I know people automatically jump to money and finances. Don't know that that's the case, but we're going to draw more cards. But it can be saying that there's a lot, that there's a lot to this, or there's a lot inside of you, or there's a lot that you're holding on to. Could be you, could be someone else. I know that annoys me too when I hear that in readings, but we're going to find out. My gods, please, one clarifier for this situation of holding on. Right at the top, lovers. This could be a past lover or a past love that you do not want to hold on to. But I got to say, now I'm also getting, remember, I'm reading the collective. This could be for like thousands of different people with a certain number of situations in the quantum field. That's what clairvoyant, that's what this is. It's mining the quantum field. It's tuning to the infinite variations, right? And pulling through specifics for people who might be watching the videos. The divine takes care of the rest of all of that. I just got to tune and do what I do. So this could also very much feel like holding on, very much wanting a friend to be a lover. And that there's a decision, a life-changing decision always involved with the lover's card. And with abundance, yeah, maybe there's some money stuff in there, but that this is a lot. We could say the abundance card, we could just call it extra. It's like this feels a little extra, and maybe that's why the child inside of you might be very much in a gas brake as far as driving position, where it may very, 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 very want and very, 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 very fear the same thing. That I want it, but if I say this, if I make a move, if I make this decision, it's just so much, it's just too much, it's just too much. And, you know, that's fine. That is actually fine, because it is the child within us that does get overwhelmed with all the adulting stuff in the world. It remembers all of the pain and the sorrow and the insults and the stuff. So there could be something even from the past. Well, you know, when someone's holding on to us, or we're holding on to someone else, it's because of emotional baggage in the cell tissue that needs to be embraced, loved, healed. But remember, love is the healer. So I want some more master cards on master cards. I don't need more master cards. Credit cards, I can't believe I just said master cards. I'm not calling them this. My masters, please, cards of elucidation then. Show me the possibility first of this friendship card being that conflict of lover or friend, or is it having to transform, as you taught me many decades ago, a lover to a brother? Show me. Orgasm, okay. So that there's a possibility that this was a friendship that went there, that had a spark, and it was extra. And there's a holding on there, but I want to see masters. Really, I get that there's a decision about the holding on, and that there's a lot of extra about the holding on. But what is? Let's start with what is being held on to. What is being held on to here for these Sages? Path of true love. And what? Happiness. That there's a holding on to happiness, which you would say in and of itself, it's like, aww. But is it the happiness of what was? Is it the happiness of what was that you're holding on to, the person? Well, let's ask, shall we? Hera, my mother, my queen, I ask you specifically, goddess of marriage, goddess of true marriage, true love marriage, my mother. Who is holding on to whom in this? Two cards, one for the holder, one for the holdee. Who or what is being held on to, please? Subject, object, first two cards down. Tell me when to stop shuffling, my queen. Stop. That was fast. We've got loyalty and the hurricane. Thank you, mother. Three of flames in this deck is loyalty, which can often have that waiting for, holding a candle, but we will talk about that one. The other one, the Five of Blades, the Hurricane, which there's a wonderful Joan Osborne version of a song, if she didn't write it, called Hurricane. I want it played at my funeral on a loop. Oh, the playlist for that one's going to be hot. Spoiler, I'm going to die someday. We all are. As hot as I look at 50. I don't know, about 100. Someone said I might be going through a midlife crisis. I was like, damn, how long do you think I'm going to live, girl? How long do you think this? It's 50 already. It looks pretty good. Overtone, extreme purple, love it. So look. This is actually a good thing. You might very well be holding on to someone holding space, being center for someone in a sense of loyalty while they are spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. If a breath is a thought, what's a hurricane? Air sign. Air card. And the fives are all about change. They can be chaotic. Oh, but Sagittarians, you'll probably love this more than any other sign. Chaos is divine order that we don't understand. It's always in retrospect. So hunters, if you, because you're the hunters, Sagittarius, you can really fill your bow for this month and really go about getting the information that you need, the guidance, the grace. There's a lot of it. There's a lot going on here. But again, the only card that really gave me concern ultimately, well, what do you say to somebody in a hurricane? Hold on. And that you, I don't feel like, are necessarily the one in that hurricane. If you are in a hurricane like that, it's internal. It's all the thoughts. So if you can really tend to that child inside of you, oh, please, that's everything. Because the child is the one that's afraid, perhaps, of losing the friendship or taking it further or taking a risk. Look, Carolyn Mace, the book Sacred Contracts, I love Carolyn Mace, really took me deeper into an understanding about archetypal power. I've always been interested in archetypes. I started reading tarot when I was 12 years old, called to it, right? But it was Sacred Contracts that really taught me about, for instance, the 4 survival archetypes everyone has: the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute, that don't just deal with relationships or romantic, they deal with everything. They're the trunk of the tree. All other archetypes are leaves on the branches or branches on the tree. Pick your arboreal metaphor. But the child archetype is the guardian of safety and innocence. And you need that. We need that because that child can have so much written upon it and so much that it came in to do. There are some who say that that child is an aspect of the higher self that has forgotten it. So as we love it, it alchemizes from lead to gold, from childish to childlike, Pee Wee Herman to Dalai Lama, right? And then there's that thing that a child, if a child doesn't feel safe, I always use that. You could teleport them to the center of the wizarding world of Harry Potter, or their most favorite place on earth. And if they're scared, they will hide. They will not have fun. They will withdraw, or they will tantrum like a demon. But if a child feels safe, you could bring them to Jekyll and Hyde. Do you remember Jekyll and Hyde in New York City? Does that still exist? I should go Google that. They had this one statue of Zeus that rotated and sang songs from ancient Greece and then went into the score from the musical Greece. I'm dead. I was dead. It was a good place for it. But that child, even then, if he feels safe, it would be laughing. It would be such a good time. So tune to that, Sagittarians. You are not the child of the zodiac. The Aries is. So maybe check the Aries reading for this one. Maybe even if you're not Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, have a check there. That feels really strong because there's a message there about that child. That it is the child that, once it really feels safe, is innocent enough to love again, is innocent enough to take a risk, right? So what do? You say, I know there's a lot of extra going on. You don't talk to it in spirituality and metaphysics. You talk to it like a child. It's okay, my sweetheart. I know we're afraid. I know we're afraid of letting go. I know we're afraid of losing, that this is a decision to make, but we don't have to make it right now. It's a good thing to say to that kid, never lie. We don't have to make that. We can mull this around right now. This is just another chapter in our story, and I love you, and no matter what happens, I'm here for you. I'm here. I love you. If they end up doing something that's abusive or neglectful to us, they can go pound sand. I am here. How can I serve you? I love you, my little squishums. As silly as that sounds, that actually heals. That's opening the heart. What would love do? What would love do? Love would love. Let's start with that child within. Because, honey, this orgasm card has drawn my eye. It was baby, it was fireworks. Boom, boom, boom. Really good reading. I wish you Sagittarians so well in terms of even what to do. That sort of indicated for the month. Hold on. This could be moving and changing really quickly, and particularly with retrogrades. If this is a friend from out of the past, if this is a past lover, if this is a past whatever, expect them. They're coming in. I've been going through ex-boyfriend flash flood as of late, which usually means I'm getting ready for a commitment. It's like, let's, the parade, the rogues parade, they come by. And sure enough, at Gay Pride Long Island, I saw a couple of them. They did not see me. Why? Witchcraft. I was traveling with a Scorpio. That's always how it goes with a Scorpio and me. All right, my darlings, have a really, really blessed month. I love you. Reach out, get a reading, read my info underneath, go to my website, follow me on Instagram. Twitter is just where I send everything else to, out into the Twitterverse. But certainly people have been reaching out for readings. I'll book you when I can. Remember, I don't have a bank job during the day, although my contact lens wants to start self-employment on this side. Here we go. So should you need help, do you want a reading? This is what I do. I got a lot of work to do, but I love doing this. So whether it's face-to-face somewhere on Long Island, Manhattan to Montauk, or if you would like to do it Facebook Messenger or some video platform, I'm down for it. But you can certainly check out my info on jointhecircle.com. There is an option on my web store for reading packages set for 1 to 3 hours of $100 an hour, because I do travel and I give it a lot. I'm good. I'm better than good. I've been doing this shit forever. But for now, my beautiful Sagittarians, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, I wish you the very, very best and the very, very blessed of the path of true love for July 2019. But for now, farewell and blessed be.